Welcome to the Fancast. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. I'm really excited to have a professional MMA champ who won his belt for Shogun Fights October 5th, a little over a week ago, who's taking time out of his busy schedule of also not only just being a professional MMA fighter and champ, but also a gym owner and an entrepreneur, and he runs his own promotion. You've probably put it together by now. I'm talking about Chris, the Rocket Rollins champ. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be talking to you again after another win, and I'm excited to talk to you and chat it up. It's always nice.
It's always nice to have you on the show. I should have said the champ is here. The champ is
Yes,
here.
sir.
So talk us through that. You had a great fight for Shogun. Shogun's a pretty good, at least in this area. I know of Shogun. So talk how this fight came together. Unfortunately, you were originally set up maybe 6 months ago now, whatever it was, a few months back to fight for 247. That ended up not happening. But how did this fight come together for Shogun? How long did you know about it? What was your training like going into it? And then, of course, we'll talk through the fight itself. But give me a little bit of a preview.
Yeah, going back to 247, if I had a little accident come up, I don't know. I got 40 some fights. I've never missed weight, pulled out. I had an injury. Had to pull out of that fight, was unfortunate. So set me back for about, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks. And then Shogun reached out. Actually, back in April or March, end of March, beginning of April, we were at the show, and I watched the title fight, and I told my girlfriend Caitlin, I was like, I'm gonna get the winner tonight. So I kind of put it out there. I was like, hey, Featherstone, I said, respectfully, he's the OG. I had a good knockout. I was like, that's the guy I'm trying to fight next. And then once they start matching the card up, Brian Hamper hit me up and was like, hey, Featherstone, he's down for the fight. Let's make it happen. And that's how it came together.
I mean, that is wonderful. About how much of a lead up did you have? Was it so many weeks or a couple months when the fight came together and then you started training for a bout?
Yeah, I think it was like the end of August, around there. I got my contract like the end of August, somewhere in there.
Gotcha. So a fairly quick from end of August to October 5th is just a
Yeah,
little over a month. But obviously for
yeah,
you, at this point, you've been on the show. I've seen you fight live. You're 34 years old with a ton of pro fights and other amateur fights before that. How does it feel getting ready? Do you feel good coming into a fight? Are you kind of like fine tuning in the sense that obviously this number of pro fights, you've got to know your body coming in, like what you need to do to get ready to come into this fight?
Yeah, I think just all the experience at 34, you're seeing the best results now because I've kind of made the mistakes in camps and overtrained. And, I've always prepared a lot. I think I was overtraining back in my younger days, if I'm being honest with you. And now I know my body. I pretty much got everything down to the T about how my weight cut's going to go, etc. Plus, I used to fight at 145, and now since you've seen me on this 5 fight win streak, I've went up to lightweight to 155. So I think not cutting all the way down, cutting that weight that you're seeing the guy that was in the gym more actually in the fights now as well. So I just think getting older, wiser, and not fighting I was fighting 4 or 5 times a year there for a while, just taking the call whenever. Now I'm more, I'm not ducking nobody, but I'm being more smart with my decisions now.
Well, and being on a 5 fight MMA streak is impressive. And we've talked before about you figuring things out, everything from the weight cut to what you need to train. You and others, I think, but you're probably the best example. You took a lot of fights early that in your pro career that didn't necessarily go your way. So now you're putting together a 5 fight win streak and everything's coming together in such a great way. Talk a little bit about the balance of you being the promoter for Rocket Combat Sports, a great promotion that you run that's named after your nickname, the Rocket. And
Yeah.
so I think you guys had a show maybe in September. I remember you had a show coming up. So how'd that go, and how did that balance with your training for this title fight?
Yeah, the card went together really well, and we actually have our 18th show. Our Rocket Combat Sport 18 will be October 25th. That'll be a Friday night. We've never done that before. It'll be at Dominion Raceway. They got the national race there that evening, and then after the race, we're going to close out the night with the fights. So I'm pretty excited to do something different and have a Friday night fight. So I was matchmaking this card as I was doing this card, plus running the gym. So needless to say, I was a busy man, but that keeps me from like thinking about the fight too much. I got so much stuff going on with my gym, family, kids, just spending family time with them, my girlfriend, training, helping my guys. I got 4 or 5 guys that are actually fighting in 2 weeks. So we were kind of all in camp together. So it actually worked out well. We just pushed each other now that they're here at the end of their camp now. And they were a big reason I was able to get this belt here. They push me every day behind the scenes, and if I'm a little tired and beat up once in a while, they'll help me teach a class. I mean, it's a team effort.
Yeah, from what you've told me, you've got a wonderful team around you, best skills, and a shout out to those guys you mentioned that not only pushed you and were a part of your championship camp, but also you working with them and training them and coaching them as well as running the promotion. Sounds like you've got it figured out mentally. I think a lot of fighters, depending on the fighter, can kind of over mentally focus on an opponent where it just drains. It kind of drains the nervous system for just fixating every moment on an opponent. So if you found a recipe that works, that you keep your mind focused on other things, that's wonderful. Now, talk us through the fight. You ended up going the 3 rounds, winning by decision. So if you can give us a synopsis of round one
Yeah.
and kind of what you were feeling in round one and how you were feeling. You're a coach, so I'm sure in addition to having coaches, you also have a mind that can kind of keep track of what's going on as you go. So how was round one?
Right, a little bit, show the big show, bright lights. But I've been there, boxing scene. I've been on some huge shows. So, we expected, everything I expected of him was there. I knew that if I made any mistake, no matter if it was, 30 seconds left in the fight, that he has knockout one punch power. So I kind of, and as we touched on earlier, I was going to fight Worthy, kind of the same style of opponent, I would say. They don't throw a lot of combinations, but when they can try to walk forward, control the pace, throw big shots, and kind of want to catch you in that little where they kind of make you feel comfortable, put you to sleep, standing there watching the big shot. So my coaches put a good game plan together, and every time I'd go to like try to brawl or something, they're just like yelling things. And I stuck to the game plan, and we executed it. And I think I broke his jaw. I didn't know this until after the fight, but I broke his jaw like within the first 2 minutes of the fight, and he never showed it one time in the fight. I mean, I hit him with some big shots. He never backed up. He was there the whole time, and then we seen him after the fight, and he said his jaw and his tooth. And like I said, you would never know that watching. He's straight OG. That's the guys I'm trying to fight, and yeah. So he pressed me pretty much the whole fight. I knew coming into this fight, like the fight IQ, my fight IQ is at an all time high now. And I know my tools, and a couple of things we had to change on the fly. I felt strong on the cage with them everywhere. I felt solid. I've put myself in like over the years of just doing straight jiu-jitsu rounds. I got 10 professional boxing fights. I've been in with high-level boxers, kickboxers. So I feel like I'm honestly at 34 years old, the most complete fighter now. As back when I was younger, it was like take Chris to the ground, put him on the fence. Now I'm like, well, I welcome the fight wherever you want to take it because I'm good everywhere now.
Yeah, and that's definitely showing from your skill set improving, obviously through hard work and dedication, but also like you said, the fight IQ. Hats off to your opponent. It's incredible that you got a great win and all that, but man, like I think that's one of the cool parts about you. The more complimentary you are about your opponent, particularly when you are victorious, the better it is for both people, right? I think sometimes MMA fighters and everybody gets to do their own thing, but sometimes they call their opponents bums and losers. Well, if you beat a bum and a loser, what's the value there? I've often told people like
Yeah.
you get a good win over a guy, give him a compliment because one, he deserves it because he took the fight and pushed the pace in this case and had whatever the moments were, but also it kind of builds your career like you were going to fight Worthy. That's a guy that obviously is a tough guy and I know you were excited about that. It's a shame that didn't come together, but
Yeah.
because of your injury. But obviously, I think it's a great respect for you. giving honor to your opponent for his toughness. You would think most people getting a tooth blown out and a broken jaw in the first round would have just, gone down and then gotten a TKO. So that's a certain level of toughness from him. But you said that even 30 seconds to the end of a round, you knew you had to be careful because of the knockout power. Was there a point in the third round where you kind of knew you had it, or did you keep that mindset the whole way, all the way to the final bell? Like, kind of where were you mentally as things wore on in that fight?
Yeah, I was confident that I won the first two rounds, but as the corner said, they want me to, keep doing what I was doing and fight like I'm down because, everybody says you don't let go of the judges, whatever. When you fight tough, hard guys, it's a lot. But I got a couple of losses. I'll say that I lost to the judges for say on the road before. So like I never know what's going to happen. So I wasn't going to let my foot off the gas pedal. And because like I said, he holds a knockout at 170 over Simmonsburg. I think he's 10-fight UFC vet right now. He's 5-5 in UFC. He knocked him out at a higher weight class. I've never fought at 170. I was a 145 or now lightweight. So I knew that power was there. So the respect was there the whole time. And to be honest, when I went to the fight, like I was saying, when I watched it have the knockout, people don't like to say, but I was, coming to this fight, I was scared, but that made me want to get up and run these miles and do these things because I knew one mistake or if I get tired, what could happen. And like I said, I'm a respectful fighter, but when we're in there, no, the card was great. There's a lot of good fighters on that card, but it's like when me and him were the only two. When we squared up at the weigh-ins, everybody got quiet. They just looked at us. There was no disrespect. We didn't shake hands. We didn't dap up. We didn't say the good luck you hear, just cliche. We meant business, and I knew when I looked in his eye on Friday, I'm like, he's here to fight. I'm here to fight. Just no trash talking, but the fight speaks for itself. That's why we were the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked before your fight, and after your fight against Ethan Hayes, and I mean, you've earned your spot to be the main event or title fight, whatever it happens to be, and so has your opponent. And I think that's what's cool about regional promotions. You run a regional promotion is you build up. Like I've seen guys go from 0-0 debut amateurs all the way up to pro main events, and it's a process, both skill level but also reputation and fans and notoriety and all those things. So obviously you are continuing to show your skills. The 5-fight win streak is a big deal, particularly who you've put it together against. I hope to continue to follow you. Do you have, as a promoter and a coach and a professional athlete yourself, do you have a timeline for when you want to fight? Are you trying to get a December fight or whatever to get back in before the end of the year, or are you feeling pretty good that this year was a good success as far as keeping your streak and getting the wins you did?
So I think I'll touch base on that, and then I think early on in my career, whenever I would win, I was like always thinking about what's next to come, or if I had a setback, I got to fight right now. Now I'm like trying to really live in the moment and just appreciate it, do one fight at a time. To be honest, I think it was like we were on the way home Sunday evening after the fight, and I think I had 3 title fight offers within 12 hours of winning the fight. Honestly, I'm not gonna like say who they were, but opponents and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I got a lot of options right now, and like I'm just gonna sit back and help my guys through their fights in 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna see what. At the end of the day, I want the biggest fights I can take. Stay humble, and I'm trying to fight. I'm not trying to fight no rookies that get 2 or 3 fights. I'm trying to fight guys who've been around, paid their dues, and like I said, Carlos Stone had to get plates and screws and wire in his jaw, and he's already we reached out to the promoter and said he would like to fight again and run it back with me. I mean, I'm not sure it'll be, and the next card is like March, but I'll definitely be ready by then. But he's wanting to fight again, and there's a couple of options there. I'm probably going to defend in March. A couple of options there, and then I definitely got my eye on the 247 lightweight. I'm going to come out there at some point next year, and I'm going to take that belt home. My goal is now just keep on winning these fights, and so I'm just going to stick around here long enough, and I'm going to fight for a world title, and that's what I believe is going to happen, one fight at a time.
I mean, that is an incredible mindset. You've got the streak going, you've got the mind. And I think one of the reasons why I love doing this show is I want fighters that are coming up to listen, right? Like to what you said. It's good to be hungry, it's good to be eager, but sometimes getting a balance. Like for you, you're a coach. You've got to focus the next couple of weeks on your fighters, and that's the priority. And then you kind of figure it out from there. So I appreciate you making this work. I saw the your belt, and a lot of the comments of you winning on Facebook, and I know we've always wanted to stay in touch, and I want to continue to follow your career, even if you don't end up fighting for 247. It'd be great if you did. I'm not connected on. I know I'm not connected on the matchmaking side.
I'll take the belt.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I think their belt looks.
It is a sweet belt. I know Ryan Middleton, the owner of 247, is very proud of the belt, and obviously you've got a great looking belt. But I'm a little partial. I think they did an incredible job making a really standout belt, which does matter because pros like you, it matters when you have belts up on your wall. It brings recognition and reputation, and people come in and they look at what belts. In your case, the owner and the head trainer. I mean, I know Kama's done that. An opponent that you have been matched against. He's got a training gym just like you, and that's the Pittsburgh MMA Academy. And I know guys have come on this show saying that they didn't know anything about him, but they walked into his gym and saw some of the belts, including the 247 belt. He was the first ever pro 247 champ ever in 247 history. So it's just really cool. I love your mindset. I can't wait to continue to follow you. It's also unique that you're a promoter, and I know I'm going to stay in touch with you about that, both your career and the promotion side of things. Congratulations on an incredible win, continuing the streak. Keep me in the loop going forward. I want to continue to follow the Rocket. I mean, it's just incredible stuff. Congrats again. This has been Luke Payson from MMA Fancast talking to the current Shogun Fight champ at 155, the new lightweight champ from October 5th. My guest tonight, Chris the Rocket Rollins. Thanks so much for coming on the show, champ. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're the man, brother. You take care.